Oh, it's a bit about entertainment. I think all cricket's about entertainment, and first and foremost, you get that from good games of cricket. So, if you play well, I think there's no doubt that with the players we have and the talent on show that the crowd will be entertained.
There's not an extra focus on maybe a few trick shots and things like that to the fans?
No, well, certainly not in my book. I mean, David Warner's obviously got a nice little trick shot up his sleeve. Dilshan's got a nice little trick shot up his sleeve, but I don't think so. I mean, the skills at this level are good enough and expressive enough that just striking the ball as well as players do, or executing a ball as well as bowlers do, that's trick shot enough, I think.
Even though you've been playing the one days, have you been looking forward to this game? Like, is this the most fun to play?
No, they're all different and they're all great fun. Absolutely, I think the prospect of a really big crowd is exciting. Really happy with the group we've got together, so that's exciting too. So it's certainly going to be a lot of fun, but I wouldn't like to label any one game or any one format of the game any more fun than any of the others. Particularly if you're winning, I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
You made your debut here a year ago for Australia. What's that year been like? Do people recognise you in the street now?
No, I must have one of those pretty forgettable faces, I guess. I tend to sneak under the radar, but it's obviously been a really busy year, a very enjoyable year, a lot of challenges, learnt a lot about myself, and hopefully a lot more challenges ahead. But yeah, I think first and foremost it has been really enjoyable, on a personal level. A lot of years. Well, since I was 18 or 19 of being a cricketer, and a lot of hard work. So to get the opportunity to play some cricket for Australia in the last 12 months has been excellent.
So, George, how difficult is it to change gears from coming off the 50-over game last Wednesday when you try to hold the innings together and you've made 17 off 43 and you've got to come out here and do exactly the opposite a few days later?
Small adjustments. I don't think it's too much in terms of, probably a little bit in your mindset in terms of when you take a risk, but I think that's 2020 in general. It's the same game, but just with accelerated decision making, and upping the ante a little earlier. But I don't think there'll be too much as far as new shots or anything like that. I certainly don't have that up my sleeve, and I think that goes for most of the players and the guys that haven't been playing the one-day series. It's the perfect preparation. I mean, they've just come out of the Big Bash.
Dan, what do you think about where the team is at and what the objectives are at this point in the cycle, given that you've just had a World 2020 and it's a little while before the next one?
It's a little bit of a transition period, I guess, but having said that, I think some of the newer players are still very experienced players in terms of games under their belt and their ages and whatnot. So we're having a look at some players, but in terms of the balance of the side, I think it's pretty similar to what we were starting to get together at the back of, or from just prior to the World Cup, or the World T20, sorry. Not a bad result there, in terms of where we got to in those conditions. I certainly think we still are underachieving in T20 cricket, more so than in any of the other formats. There's no reason why, with the players we have, the depth we have, that we shouldn't have a side that are consistently in the top couple of teams in the world. So that's something that still irks me a little bit, and something we're working towards.
Chris? I was just going to say regarding one player in particular who comes in, Aaron Finch. He's been really very good at batting really assertively in the domestic limited overs games and the Big Bash. Maybe a little bit tentative in those one days and play the other week. Do you just want him to, I suppose, just play as natural as he can?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's probably. That was probably a real challenge for Finchy, for he was really in 2020 mode, and to probably pull it back, or to know whether he was supposed to pull it back for one-day cricket. But the way Finchy bats and the way he's taken the game on, that's exactly how we want him to play here. Having said that, I think he has batted really smartly. It's been pretty calculated the way he's gone about it. And I think that'll be a real key message for all the players, and particularly those coming out of the Big Bash. Is it's a side that's in really good form. All the guys have been picked on merit, have really deserved to be here, and really we want them to do exactly what they have been doing, in the past or in the Big Bash, and just to keep that trend going. Not to have to bat or bowl like anyone else, but just be themselves.
Can I just ask, with the shot David Warner played here last year when he changed hands and went whack? In terms of the shots that you've seen, how do you rate that?
Yeah, it's right up there. Yeah, it's still very vivid in my memory. More so because I'm not sure I can hit a ball that far right-handed, so it's pretty impressive. He's obviously got great skill with it. There's no doubt it must be in the back of the bowler's minds at time bowling to him. So and once again, he's someone that we want to give that freedom to, and also, I mean, it's. For those that have ever played, it's a very, very hard shot to play, but to play it as well as he does, and I think talking to him about it and the situations where he talks about using it, I think it's a pretty calculated shot and a very intelligent shot. So, yeah, I'd love to see another one.
George, just with the one-day team that's just been announced, is this the end of the era in terms of the Hussies being Australian teams? And secondary, how much are you missing Michael Hussey in the others forms?
Well, I'm not sure if it's the end of an era. I mean, Dave's still record domestically is still very, very good. I would think he'd be in pretty strong calculations for that Indian tour, and I wouldn't ever write him off from any of the other teams, despite him not being in this team, I guess. Absolutely missing Mike Hussey, yeah, and will do for a long time. His skills are second to none. Going to be very hard to replace, skills-wise, but also just his role. Temperament around the group, enthusiasm around the group. They're big gaps to fill and hard to sort of put a number on too. Hard to measure a lot of the things that Mike Hussey and Ricky brought to the side. So big shoes to fill, big opportunities for players, and hopefully we see guys grow into that and step into those shoes.
George, firstly, you side a little open with Dave Warner?
No, not yet. No, I don't. Sorry, I don't have a great deal of team information for you. We haven't sat down and had a team meeting. I haven't even had a look at the wicket yet. But yeah, I mean, I imagine Davey Finchy and Sean Marsh will be the three, the order that we worked at around. I'm not sure yet.
And sort of what are you hoping for Sean Marsh? It's a big opportunity for him based on sort of where he's come from, I suppose, since he last played for Australia.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, what I'm hoping for Sean is he stays on the park for a little while, and much like Finchy, he plays exactly the same way that he has been for the Scorchers, the same way that he bats when he's over in India, and that's to me a lot of freedom. He's another one I think who is very calculated in the way he bats. He's a beautiful striker of the ball, but very intelligent in the way he sets up his innings, whether chasing or setting a target. So I think a big part of that for Sean and probably for his own mind is just getting some consistent game time and staying on the park. Everyone I talk to and chatting, he's obviously been in great form, and I think mentally he's in a good place. So it's laid out for him to have a really good series.
Angela Matthew said that the X factor for them would probably be Jonathan Mendes. So we had a look at trying to work out how to pick his mystery deliveries.
We had a look at him in the one days. I'm not sure if everyone has faced him, but there's all that footage available, and yeah, no doubt. I think this wicket will certainly suit his style of bowling too. So his variety of deliveries certainly is a strong is a strength in T20 cricket. Absolutely.
Can you pick him?
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, I think the key is it's not only just about picking him, but also making him do a little something different. I think once you get to this level, all bowlers are very skilled at being able to execute if you let them bowl on their terms. I think the couple of one-day games that he played, I thought we actually played him really well, forced him to change the way he bowled a little bit, played him off the back foot very well. A couple of guys came down the wicket a little bit to him, so it just made him change a little bit rather than just dictating him and letting him bowl his different balls whenever he feels like.
George, the selectors sort of made it clear that Glenn Maxwell for the Indian tour is an all-rounder, but he hasn't really had a chance to bowl all summer in Big Bash or the ODIs he's played in. So, is there any reasons for that, and will you look to give him a bit of a bowl tomorrow night? Or?
Yeah, not sure. I mean, he bowled a couple of overs the other night in Hobart and at a pretty crucial time, got through them nicely. I think he's every chance to bowl here if the situation's right, and I guess that's one of the great things about having someone like Max in the side is that you do have that option up your sleeve. I guess for his development, consistency-wise, he'd like to be bowling a lot of the time. But whether he's getting that in game time or whether that at the moment is just through developing his consistency. Any opportunity he gets in the nets, grade cricket, shield cricket, whatever it might be, I think that's really important for him.
Dan? George, speaking of spin bowlers, obviously, Xavier did his India caused no harm the other night. How do you think he's going, and how do you think he's improved since last time he played Test cricket?
Well, I think he's going very well. It was nice to see him bowl the other night. It was a bit of a weird series for X because it was a long series for not much bowling really. Yeah, so it was a bit. I know he was pretty nervous before that game to actually get some overs under his belt. So it was nice to see him bowl well. I've got no doubt that he would like to have another crack at Test cricket. I don't think he was particularly happy with how he bowled. In that situation, I don't think the circumstances were great for him either. So he'd be looking to. We'd love another opportunity to rectify that and probably prove a lot of people wrong. I think he's in a really good place. I think he's a good age for a spinner in terms of not being too flustered if things don't go his way. He's pretty confident in his own game, got a good knowledge of where he's at. And I certainly think the way he bowls would suit those conditions. I think a left-arm spinner is going to be really important over there.
You've captained him a lot, obviously. What circumstances is he at his best?
Normally when he's got a stiff neck. When he's got a stiff neck, he had a bit of a stiff neck the other night, he bowls really well. He's always done the same for Tassie as well. Circumstances-wise, I think it's more a maturity thing with him. So what I see with him is just someone who's very settled and, not a great thing, but there's times in the Tassie Shield side, particularly playing at Belrive, where he's had to change the way he's had to bowl. So there's wickets where he can be quite attacking. There's wickets where he has to be a little more defensive. So I feel like he's worked that into his game. He can sum that situation up pretty quickly and can adapt pretty quickly depending if the batsmen are coming hard or if it's X's turn to push for wickets.
Just regarding the pitch, I know you said you haven't had a look at it, but it seemed to be not the easiest one to bat on this summer during the PBL. Did you have much of a look at that?
Yeah, a couple of low-scoring games here, so we'll obviously have a look at that. It can be a little slow, and the other thing I think with the drop in wickets is you don't get much pace off the square either, so a little bit of adjustment, but it's always tempting to see how short it is straight here too.
Last question. George, in one-day series, particularly again at the MCG, it looked like there were more Sri Lankan fans there than Aussie fans watching on telly. Surely tomorrow, it'd be almost un-Australian to not turn up, wouldn't it?
Well, I couldn't think of anything better on Australia Day. A little barbecue in the afternoon, then pop along to a game of cricket. So I think the scene's set. I think it's going to be a great game. There's no doubt. I think Sri Lanka, a really good, one of the world's best T20 sides. I think the side that we've picked a very good side too. So in terms of spectacle, I think it'll be a really, really good one. I'd love to see a huge crowd out there, and even last year playing here, the Indian crowd were very vocal as well. And there is a great Sri Lankan supporter base in Australia. There's no doubt about that. But I'm sure Australians will do the right thing and get along. There'll be plenty of flags out there waving, and hopefully we can do the right thing and play really well.